I'm your host, Summer Daniels, and as always, having you with me is an absolute pleasure. I'm doing my usual Monday checkup. I just want to know how your Monday went. I want to know if it was a blue Monday. I want to know if it was a good Monday. So leave it in the comment section below because I care about how you're doing. But before we get into anything, we're taking it local, we're taking it homegrown, we're taking it carbs. We're taking it full on Cape Town here. So here with the TikTok sensation Welkom from our homegrown, from the local boys, it's the Temple Boys. DJ, play my song. So we're throwing it forward from some of our Cape Town kings to another Cape Town legend. So listen, my next guest has done it all. I know that he often doesn't want to speak about his achievements, but when it comes to him, his genius spreads across platforms, across genres, you name it. You think about it, he's done it already. So ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are right now, give him a little, hey Jarrid, because Jarrid Geduld is in for a little session with Summer. Jarrid, hello.
Welcome to me.
Welcome
thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
I'm so happy that you are here. Thank you so much for being my guest. You are an absolute genius in everything that you do. I'm a massive fan. I've told you this already. I've watched Alan Paki's 5 times. I know what you. I already know you're directing. I know everything already.
Oh wow!
I'm in the loop. That's how I'm fandoming here, big time. But I actually want to throw it back to. I want to go way back. You know,
Sure.
I want to go to the foundational aspects of your career.
Okay.
Why acting? Why the film industry?
So I think, a lot of people always ask me that. Where did my love for acting or my passion for acting kind of start? And the answer is simple, man. Like I genuinely didn't even think that I'd be acting. I'm 32 years old now, but I never had that dream as a kid to, pursue or go after this passion or dream of becoming an actor. I grew up in simple areas. I grew up in Belhar and in Chestnut Place, like in the heart of the Cape Flats. And then, I relocated, 9 years later when I was 9 years old. We moved to East River. And during
you're
that
a
time,
local boy.
Yeah, no, I am.
Local boy, I love
100%.
it.
And so, during that time, I really didn't have any dreams of becoming an actor. Whenever anybody asked me, my family would ask me, so what do you want to be, because they call me JJ. My family calls me JJ.
I love that.
And they were like, JJ, what do you want to be? And I'd be like, I want to be a firefighter, That was literally legit.
That was the dream?
That was the dream. That was the ultimate dream. And I strongly believed that. I used to, I don't know, there was just this weird fascination with being a firefighter. And obviously at the time as a kid, you don't understand the gravitas of what it means to be a firefighter and the responsibilities of that. Obviously in your later years, you really kind of understand the importance of what they do. And so that was kind of my dream, was becoming a firefighter. And obviously, at the time...
You moved to the complete opposite direction.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the way acting came about was interesting for me. And I was scouted. I was very lucky.
Okay.
When we had this production company back in 2002 where, they were tasked with finding... I don't know if anybody... Obviously, my very first film as an actor was A Boy Called Twist. And anybody that knows A Boy Called Twist and the history of Twist or Oliver Twist and the Charles Dickens novels, it's pretty big, It's been, Oliver Twist has been done 9 times over.
It's not big, it's massive.
It's a big thing. So one of the films or the remakes of Oliver Twist, I think it was the German one or the Polish one that was made, won an Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
So the prestigiousness of the Charles Dickens novels and specifically Oliver Twist was one that was was a gigantic task for any country trying to take on and adapt any Charles Dickens novel. And so when it came to South Africa and the production company Monkey Films, who was given the tender or who was given the task, take on this thing, and adapt it into a South African version and a South African, style of filmmaking, while still keeping the original characters of Oliver Twist. And so, they were tasked with finding the actor who was going to play this, iconic character. And it took them about 1.5 years to find me. And the story about that is...
year and a half.
It's incredible, a whole 1.5 years.
Oh, wow.
So they pretty much exhausted every avenue. And so, if you're a production company, the first people you kind of go to cast an actor is the agents or the managers. And so at the time, I think there was a big lack of young actors, other than like in the States where, kids at like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old are already freaking acting, proper. So we never had that. So they were then, tasked with going to the government, and they had this whole big list of like 600 schools in like the whole country. And they literally went school by school by school by school by school to find this kid.
To find you.
And then they came to my school. My school was, I think, 170 on the list. And then they found me.
Can we just talk about destiny for a minute?
It's incredible, eh?
Because when something is meant to find you, or something is for you, it will find you. You said 170.
Yeah, it was deep into the hundreds.
So I think from everything that you just said, you wanted to be a firefighter, but destiny found you first.
It literally came to fetch me.
Destiny came to grab you at school.
And the weird thing is, I didn't even know what I was doing. It was something as simple as just like them telling me, "Hey, do this," and I was like, "Okay."
I don't even think I know it's because of a natural ability. Like I told you earlier, when I love South African film. I've got a degree in film and television.
Okay.
And it's something that we should be supporting our local people.
Yeah.
And you are just one of those actors that you're meant to do this.
I 100% believe that,
You are. There is no doubt in my mind that whether it be locally or internationally, I cannot wait to see you on the international scale.
Yeah.
I cannot wait because that is your destiny.
Absolutely. I think the first 5, 6 years, after I got cast in Twist, there was a whole, everybody kind of fell around me, I then got signed to, various managers and et cetera, and so work just kept coming. I don't think for the first 5 or 6 years I really fell in love with it, I was kind of I didn't really understand it because my mind wasn't developed enough to understand what I was doing. But I think later on, I think 10 years in, I really for the first time understood what it was and what the responsibility is of what it means to be an actor. And that's only when I fell in love with it.
This is crazy. You just answered, listen, I'm done doing this interview. I don't even need to anymore. I'm so inspired by this because you've literally answered everything that I want to ask you. And that is because destiny is found. It's like one of those things where you have been in the industry for so long now. So what would you say is that key to longevity? What is that key to success? It's like, yes, that's the one thing that keeps me young.
And it's simple, right?
It is?
It's very simple, man. And I think it's a combination of a couple of things. But I think ultimately it is, number one, just, having a good solid foundation of family and community. I think that really grounds people and it keeps people...
More than you know.
Absolutely, because, especially when you're in the industry of the film industry or whatever it is, or specifically the entertainment industry, people lose themselves very quickly, man. Like in a heartbeat, it can change.
It destroys you.
So I think it's number one would be, just community and family and really surrounding yourself with that and not getting, lost in the craziness and the hype of everything else. And then I think number two, which is probably the most important for me, is really understanding the responsibility of what it means to be an artist or an actor or musician or whatever the case may be.
That is crazy. Can you just repeat that? Responsibility.
It is a responsibility because we are tasked with the gigantic task of educating, sometimes shedding light, sometimes sharing laughter and joy.
Sharing love.
But ultimately, it is understanding that responsibility and then making sure that you stay true to that responsibility and laying the foundation of really understanding what it means to be an artist, in my case, an actor. it is important for me to be aware of what we do and what we tell, because there's so many people there's masses that we are influencing with what we do.
Of course, with what you do.
So therefore it becomes a responsibility, and you have to, take really good care of that.
I absolutely love everything that you just said. But one aspect that I want to focus on is the fact that you're an artist. But with your art, you bring so much joy. I absolutely love everything that you do. Especially, it's funny because when I told my ma you were coming, my ma was 91.
Oh, wow.
Bompie van Arendsvlei.
What's up, Ma?
Weet jy nou Summer? Hy's altyd die evil man, maar ek hou van hom. And that's exactly what you do.
Yeah.
You think that, it's like sometimes people don't realize the influence they have.
Yeah.
But you're influencing older generation, younger generation. You've got this mass influence, and you're carrying it so well. You are that king. Come on,
Thank you very much.
Definitely doing that. So, on the role of artistry, we're in that now, and I want to know, you've had to prepare for so many different characters, so many different roles. But what would you say was your absolute favorite one? And how do you get in that zone? How does Jarrid Geduld get into that mindset of like, yes, this is the character that I'm embodying?
I mean, it's difficult to choose, because I think they all have their own challenges,
Okay.
and they all have their own. There's times for each one of them, and in those moments when you're playing these various characters, there's importance and there's relevance in those characters at that time. But I think, look, I've done a lot of things, man. This some of the stuff that I've done. I hope nobody sees.
Oh, really? Now, I highly doubt that. I think everything you do is brilliant.
But I think, look.
Favorite character?
It has to be.
That is a different.
It has to be Adam Pakis or AB Pakis, as we know them. And I think people will go, oh man, obviously it's him. But it is.
But I asked that question with the intention of getting that answer, because I told you this is my favorite one.
Yeah, no,
so
it is.
I love that. And getting into that space of like, okay, cool, this is what I'm doing. How do you do that? How do you embody that character?
So the reason why it's for me one of or the one that will always stay with me and it will be like at the top of my list is because, when Mnet and CakeNet, commissioned the film.
Yes.
I genuinely shouldn't have been I wasn't even supposed to play the part. I wasn't. No, 100%.
Wow.
So the process, it's a long story, but anyway, long story short, I wasn't actually supposed to play the part. Not because I wasn't good enough, but because there was a lot of things. I think it was, there was people that understand there's this whole behind the scenes thing of how things get done,
of course.
People like Channel and the producers and the director, everybody has a say in who plays what character.
Of course.
So there was that drama, right? But long story short, when I did get the call to go, hey, look, it's you. You're gonna play.
You got it.
My one task was like my one kind of thing to the director was let me do my thing, and I think the reason why it's up there is because there was no restrictions in terms of playing the character. I really wanted to kind of go in there and really just do everything that my body and my mind and the moment really,
pay that respect in that way, of course.
Or demanded at the time. A lot of the time when you're filming and you're playing characters, it's quite it's constructed in a way where it's almost quite robotic, but it's your duty to kind of make things feel natural. And you are also restricted in so many things with like, the way you speak, how many swear words you can say, because there's PGs and stuff like that. So there's a lot of restrictions on like how and what you say as a character, right? And I think for me it was very important to really play this character so authentic that it really scares people and it really makes people go, ugh. And that comes with like the vulgarness of it. It has to be that. And so for me, that's one of the reasons I really do genuinely think it's my favorite is because, they really kind of allowed me to just do what I wanted to do.
Absolutely.
Obviously within the same bounds and with the guidance.
Yes,
but
of course.
They really genuinely gave me the baton and said, hey man, you go.
Take the freedom.
You go. We're following you. Because I really do have a deep understanding of what it's like to be, born on the Cape Flats.
I was about to say that now.
So you can't tell me what it's about.
Knowledge, of course.
And I said that to them, and I had a long discussion with the director prior to filming. I said, "Hey man, look, I'm just gonna go," and he was like, "I'll follow you."
Just
man.
gonna jump.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's one of the reasons why I think I enjoyed it so much, was because it was a release. It really was a release of so many, built up tension with, my own childhood. And I didn't feel ashamed about that. It was really good to be able to go and really just go. And you very rarely get that as an actor. And so for me, that's why it's up there, is because I never left set every day feeling like I could have done more. I actually gave a lot.
Everything.
Yeah.
You gave. Now, you are one artist, because I want to say artist because you venture into everything and you're constantly finding new avenues and steam. You were speaking about directing, how you actually spoke to the director, but then in the same time you embodied the acting side of it. What can we expect from Jarrid Geduld next? You've done everything already. What is your one thing that's like, okay, no, that's next?
I think at the moment I'm focusing mainly. I have a contract with Arends Vlei, so I'm directing the show at the moment. So for me, it's more at the moment it's just being a part of that creative journey of the show as a whole. And so
don't leave, because listen, you've got fans, massive fans, and we love that you're doing that.
Yeah, no, for me it's always, I've been behind the scenes for a long time. People don't even know that.
Oh, wow.
So this is not like a now thing. I've been doing it for the last 10 years. Whilst acting, I've done a lot of things behind the scenes in various kind of departments or capacities.
Hence why I said genius.
So
genius.
I think it was a natural kind of progression for me to step over and step into the director's seat.
Okay.
Again, you don't just do that. There's levels to it. You have to kind of start somewhere, and the people that have guided me and molded me and who've given me the opportunities and also given me the time to kind of learn and study the art of directing, and not just directing but the technical aspects that come with that. They've really kind of, these people, I've got a good group of people around me who were like, hey man, look,
your foundation,
you ready.
Your foundation.
And so now it's just focusing on being a big creative part of Arends Vlei and directing the show and making sure that the show goes on. And every now and again, you'll see this time I'll come back into the show.
Every now and again,
But I think ultimately, looking forward and past Arends Vlei, I think obviously my new film that released this year, Indemnity, we did Indemnity, and that was a big milestone for all of us. We did South Africa's first action film at that scale.
Amazing.
So the ultimate, I think the plan is to try and make 2 more Indemnities. So we're trying to do a trilogy of it. So it's just trying to figure out how and who we're doing it, or who it's going to be done with, and if it's a trilogy or if we turn it into a series or whatever the case may be. I think Gambit Films, who was the production company and the head of Indemnity, I think that I'll leave up to them, because that's their job. I'll just come on board whenever they need me.
There's a plan. There is a plan.
So on the acting side, it'll be that.
Of course.
But on the director's side, I think, yeah, man, hopefully within the next 2 or 3 years, I'll be able to do my own feature film, I think.
Are we going international with them? Come on. If they come calling, why not?
No, for sure. Look,
that.
it's a no-brainer, man. There's always opportunity. You don't have to leave the country anymore, because there's so much opportunity. We have Disney, we have Amazon coming, we have Netflix.
On African soil,
So it's going to be crazy. You don't have to leave the country anymore. International things are literally on our doorstep.
Of course.
There's a couple of things I could have done this year that I decided not to do, with Netflix, but I think timing-wise and also project-wise, it wasn't the right time. But I think my ultimate passion and desire right now is to finish my contract, and then step over into the feature film, and possibly direct something of my own and put it out on the big screen for everyone to see.
Okay, so I'm so ready. Release it now. Really, tell me all the ideas. I'm so ready because I'm so inspired today.
Yep.
You are an inspiration of note. I don't think you realize what you do for us as people of color. I think just the ambitions alone, everything that you've mentioned, you are so humble in everything that you do. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you do. Our people don't get enough acknowledgement, and I'm a big supporter of colored excellence. I really am, and you are amazing. Thank you for everything that you do. Keep doing everything, and I'll be there to watch everything.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
And good luck with you and everything that you do.
Thank you.
And I'll also be watching.
Hi,
And,
please do.
No, for sure, I will be watching, and I also love these kinds of things. So keep going, man. Don't let them say. Don't let the knowers stop you. Everybody
Never.
say no.
That is your motivation Monday. Don't let the no sayers stop you. Nothing stops us ever. You heard it straight from Jarrid's mouth. Nothing should stop you. This has been another session with Summer. Catch us every single Monday, 7 p.m. You already know. Every platform that you can think of. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. At Sessions with Summer will be coming to you. Stay safe and stay blessed. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.